All right, today we're going to be solving quadratics. Remember, quadratics are in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. It's equations with this x squared term. Now, there's going to be several ways that we solve this. Probably the easiest way on problems that allow it is the square root method. So here's probably the easiest example I could come up with. X squared equals 9. Now, remember, in algebra, if you want to undo something, you've got to do the inverse operation. So the inverse operation of squaring is the square root. So we're going to square root both sides. So square root of x squared is x. Again, we're square rooting something that's squared. It undoes, and we're left with just x. And the square root of 9 is 3. And it looks like we're done, but we're not. Because yes, 3 squared equals 9, but also negative 3 squared equals 9. Whenever we square root both sides of an expression, we need to acknowledge that it could be plus or minus. So we have two answers, positive 3 and negative 3. Okay, here's another example right here. We want to get the x squared, the squared part by itself. So we're going to divide by 2. X squared equals 7 over 2. Again, how do we undo squaring? We're going to do a square root. So x equals square root of 7 over 2. And again, we have to be careful. It could be plus or minus. All right? Here, it looks a lot different, but the concept is the same. We want to get the part that's being squared by itself. We need to isolate that. So to do that, we're going to get this away. So minus 4 now that we've isolated the squared part, we can square root it. So we're going to square root both sides. Again, the squared and the square root just cancel each other out. And what's the square root of negative 4? Okay, the square root of negative 4 is going to be 2i. Remember, because the square root of negative 1 is I. And again, we need a plus and minus here. Okay, now this is going to look a little strange. We still need to solve for x. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add 8. But these aren't like terms. So I have to say 7x equals 8 plus or minus 2i. We almost have x by itself. We're going to divide by 7. So my answers are 8 plus 2i over 7 and 8 minus 2i over 7. Those are going to be our two answers.